Ask the Doctor with Michael Lange begins in 10 seconds.
When it comes to your health, are you seeing the check engine light come on more than normal? It's time to get under the hood. It's time for Ask the Doctor with Dr. Michael Lange. Sponsored by Lange Eye Institute and Fortifeye Vitamins. Dr. Lange is a board-certified optometric physician and certified nutrition specialist, helping people see and feel better through proper nutrition for 25 years. The doctor is in. Call now with your questions at 877-969-8600. That's 877-969-8600. Here's your host, Dr. Michael Lange.
Okay, good morning and welcome to Ask the Doctor, or Ask the Doctors this morning. Remember, this show is dedicated to you, the listener, the viewer, so no matter how simple or complicated your questions are, we will always try to answer it to the best of my ability, or the best of our ability. Dr. Susan Summerton of the Lange Eye Institute and Fortifeye Vitamins is my co-host as usual. And of course, I'm Dr. Michael Lange, board-certified optometric physician, certified nutritional specialist, founder of Lange Eye Care and Associates, Lange Eye Institute, and Fortifeye Vitamins. For those of you that are new to the program, how long has this program been on the air? We started April of 1993. I tell you, time flies when you're having fun. We are coast to coast in the United States, and we're live video streaming all over the world. So it's good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, just depending on what part of the globe you are watching. And we talk about eye care. We talk about natural aspects of eye care. Certainly, we talk about traditional eye care. We talk about surgical intervention. We talk about medical intervention, but we also talk about lifestyle changes and a holistic approach to your entire health. And today's topic is going to be really how to make you feel better, look better, and be healthier. And I want to tell Dr. Summerton, good morning. Good morning, Dr. Susan Summerton.
Good morning. I'm calling here from the Villages today. It is a nice, beautiful, sunny day, a big change from what we experienced the past few days, but completely grateful for it.
Tell me about it. I want to let everybody know today is, we are live. It's Saturday morning. It's a day and a half after the hurricane. And, you know, we take things for granted, folks. We really do. We start to take things for granted, and then a hurricane hits. And the hurricane was something else. And I've been through Hurricane Camille in New Orleans, Hurricane Betsy, Hurricane Ivan, Hurricane Charlie, some pretty severe hurricanes. And this was bad enough. The wind wasn't terrible, but the flooding after the hurricane, which was the problem. We were in our house on Bayshore Drive here in Tampa Bay area, and we watched the water come up, and 3 o'clock in the morning it peaked. And it came just about 4 inches from going into our house, which was amazing. And I was in the garage jacking up all my cars at 2 o'clock in the morning, trying to keep them out of the water. A little bit of it came in our garage, but we're blessed. I think we're one of like 3 homes that didn't have it inside our house. So all of you out there, we need to be thankful. Don't take, a life for granted. And a lot of us should be very thankful for surviving this hurricane and hopefully not having too much damage. Scoobs, you survived. Everything okay with your family?
It is. Everything was good.
Good.
About 6 feet from breaching, but
I know we stayed in contact a lot. 3 o'clock in the morning, we were talking. None of us have probably slept in 2 days.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, because I did the cleanup yesterday, all day yesterday. So if I look tired, it's rightfully so. Dr. Summerton, how did everything fare over near the Villages?
We were blessed over here. We just had the few little wind gusts and the nature's pruning of the trees, but we're certainly keeping all those people along the west coast of Florida and all the way up into Tennessee that are in North Carolina, South Carolina, that are dealing with this devastation of the flooding and the breaking of the dam. And my heart and prayers goes all out to them. We've all of us that have lived in Florida have definitely experienced the storms, and we know what they're going through, and we really pray for them.
And if you're watching, I've got a lot of Tulane stuff in the back there. We got a banner, Tulane Go Green Wave. I'm wearing a Tulane sweatshirt. I got a Tulane hat on. Tulane's playing USF. I'm usually a fan of USF, except when they play Tulane in New Orleans. I figured I'm an investor in that college with Mackenzie going there, and tuition isn't cheap. So I'm an investor in Tulane. So go Green Wave, go Tulane. I think they play USF around 11 o'clock today. I could be wrong. All right, we have a new number for everybody to call in on today, and maybe that's related to the hurricane, maybe not, but we've got a new number. Write this down. I'm going to give it to you 3 times. Get a pen and paper. If you want to call Dr. Summerton or myself or even Scooby-Doo and ask him a question, call us at 813-282-8283. That's 813-282-8283. One more time. The new call-in number for now at Salem Media is 813-282-8283. Also, remember, November 16th is our annual fall festival. We're finally going to have one. We had it every year until the pandemic. So at the Lange Eye Institute in the Villages, November 16th, we usually have 6,000 people show up. Scoobs is going to be there with Soaring Drones, his company, and maybe we'll have some drone activity, right, Scoobs?
Of course we will.
Good. So come on out, November 16th. Meet Dr. Caputi, meet Dr. Summerton. We're going to have food. We're going to have a big barbecue. We're going to have music. We're going to have a lot of fun. And we're going to have some huge discounts on frames and everything else, even on the Fortifeye Vitamin line. Also, for those of you that took advantage last week of the Focus Sport is the same thing as Fortifeye Focus. It's just got a different label on it. Well, we found some that expire next month. Folks, these don't expire for really years to come. But I don't want to sell them after the expiration date, so we're going to do 50% off or a BOGO. Focus Sport, go to the Fortifeye Nutrition Center or go to the Lange Nutrition Center. Actually, they're all at the Fortifeye Nutrition Center right now. So Fortifeye Nutrition Center on Clearwater on McMullen Booth Road. We're open today, even the day after the hurricane. We're open there. And the Fortifeye Sport is 50% off or buy one, get one free. It's the same thing as Fortifeye Focus. You can order it. If you call the toll-free number today, you can talk to Charlene and you can order it. And we'll ship it. There is going to be $7.95 for shipping, however, just to minimize our loss. So the phone number for Fortifeye Vitamins is 866-503-9746. That's 866-503-9746. All right, we're going to go to the first caller of the morning. Let's see. Cerise. I think Cerise is online. I don't know from where, but Cerise, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Oh, good morning, and thank you. I love your program. I listen to it almost every Saturday.
Thank you.
I have 2 things. One, I'm getting ready for cataract surgery, and I called to order some more products from me. I had been taking the omega-3s, and I spoke with Mary, and she was so helpful and kind. She said, no, you shouldn't be taking the omega-3s. So I ordered the Fortifeye Focus. She told me I could take that. Now, the eye doctor didn't tell me anything to take or not to take, except he wanted. I saw him on the 16th, and the surgery's not till October 2nd, and he wanted me to start on this prednisolone acetate,
Right.
which I have a problem. I really am always skeptical of anything like that, like steroids, and I didn't want to take it that long, and I really didn't want to take it at all if I don't have to, if I can substitute. But I haven't taken it yet, and I thought, well, if I should take it, I probably should take it soon. They said start it right away, but that's a long time.
So your surgery's not until October 16th?
Second.
Oh, October 2nd.
Yes.
What? That's next week, right?
Yes, that's next Wednesday.
Yeah. So I usually most doctors will start the steroid and an antibiotic, a few days before the surgery. All right. Usually most doctors will start it 3 days before, but I don't know. Maybe you had a lot of inflammation going on. Maybe you had dry eye. Maybe there's a reason he wants you to start it a little bit earlier. The prednisolone acetate is extremely safe. You're not going to be on it long term. You're going to be on it for probably up to a month, and you're going to taper off of it on a slow taper. But it's crucial because remember, cataract surgery is going to cause some inflammation in your eye. And typically they'll put you on an antibiotic, a non-steroidal, and a steroid, but only for a short period of time. You'll probably use it 4 times a day for a week or 2, and then 3 times a day for a week, and then, 2 or 1 time a day for a week, you'll taper off of it. I would follow the cataract surgeon's advice. All right.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
usually you have to stop vitamins and blood thinners a week before cataract surgery. Okay. And
Okay.
maybe that's why Mary didn't want you to take the omega-3. Omega-3 has some very mild blood thinning attributes, but I think omega-3 is very important for each and everybody. You've heard me talk about if you only took one supplement, omega-3 is the one you should take. A good triglyceride form or re-esterified triglyceride form, and Fortifeye Super Omega and Fortifeye Super Omega-3 Max, is re-esterified triglyceride made in Norway. There's a couple other good brands out there, but we have it made in the same factory, and we're more potent and we're cheaper. That's why we're doing so well with the Fortifeye brand. But I think Focus is fine. Focus is just carotenoids. It does not have any blood thinning properties. So you can take Fortifeye Focus pretty much indefinitely. And it's great after cataract surgery because remember, you're having the human crystalline lens removed, and therefore all the blue light can come through that lens they put in the implant and potentially can damage your retina and predispose you to getting macular degeneration. So I recommend Fortifeye Focus to everybody after cataract surgery. Everybody. I take it.
Well,
I take 2 a day, and I haven't had cataracts yet. So
okay. Well, she was very kind. I've been taking your omega-3s. They're really big. They're really big. But I've been taking them for quite a while because I listened to what I've
Right.
listened to what you recommended on that. But now he did not put me on any, and he didn't give me any prescription for any antibiotics.
Yeah, they'll probably give that to you the day of the surgery. They'll probably
day of
send
the
a
sur-
prescription and
oh.
give you a bottle then. Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. And I love your program. And the people that when you call the number there are so sweet and helpful.
Well, thanks. I like that positive feedback. We've been working on getting a good team together, and I think we have a pretty good team.
I think you got a good team. Okay. You have a great day.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And Dr. Summerton, we talk about nutrition to our patients all the time, and we talk about, these carotenoids because they are beneficial. Studies have indicated it can increase macular pigment density. And why is that important?
It is. And I myself also take Focus every day. And it's really the regular carotenoids that I take personally every day. And we want to make sure they are getting absorbed. And people ask, we're paying a little bit more for these vitamins, but we're also wanting quality. And with that quality comes no contamination and also proper absorption. And whenever I go to these doctor conferences, which I'm going to a lot these days, they have this skin carotenoid test. And I am so excited when I do it because I get those high numbers and those high positive results, many times the highest in the room there of all the doctors attending because of using these lutein, zeaxanthin, astaxanthin that's in the Focus every day. But those amazing, especially the lutein, zeaxanthin, they find their way into our body, they cross our blood-brain barrier, and our brain is extremely picky, thankfully, about what it lets in. It crossed our blood-retina barrier, and they're stored right there in that center of our eye, our macula. And they're little yellow pigments, and their job is to absorb, being yellow, they absorb that blue light that can reach the back of our eye. And we're all hearing about blue light. And the problem is nowadays it's excessive blue light without that balancing of the red that our eye loves. So we get too much of that blue. So we want that sort of internal sunscreen effect of those, what you're saying, carotenoids, the lutein and zeaxanthin to protect us.
Okay. That's absolutely right. Now, Art hung up. Art, thanks for holding. Give us a call back. I'll take your phone call next immediately. So 813-282-8283. Once again, you're listening to Ask the Doctors, and we're live video streaming, like I said, all over the world and coast to coast via a multitude of different radio stations. Go call at 813-282-8283. So Fortifeye Focus is available at fortifeye.com. That's Fortifeye, fortifeye.com. Fortifeye, fortifeye.com. Also, go to the science section on the Fortifeye Vitamins. Anytime you buy a supplement through Fortifeye Vitamins, we have a section you click on called Science, and that goes by the rationale of why we put specific nutrients into a supplement. We have full transparency. Folks, most vitamins that you buy today, number one, are made in some foreign country you probably don't want to deal with. Number two, they don't have any transparency. They give you a blend and they call it a proprietary blend. Well, that's a bunch of hogwash. A proprietary blend is a way of actually not telling you what's in it. So they might put everything but the kitchen sink in it, and they might put 99% of the cheapest ingredient. And so you don't know what you're getting. You just don't know. And you might have a doctor with a great name and a great reputation behind it that might be retired now, and they're just trying to make some money. And they might be making a lot of money. I hate to say it, off the stupidity of the public. So that's what this show is about, educating you, the consumer, the listener, the viewer. Make sure the ingredient panel and supplements tell you what's in it. So like Fortifeye Focus, we tell you exactly what lutein, zeaxanthin, astaxanthin, what trademarked items we use, and then we back it by all the clinical studies supporting the amounts that we have. Also, if you're over 60 and starting to be cognitively impaired or getting some brain fog moments, some of those moments where you walk into the kitchen, you go, what was I coming here for? All of us get that. And you don't have to be over 60. I mean, you can be 20, 18, and take something called Focus and Brain. It is Fortifeye Focus, but we also have added cognizine to it. Cognizine is a trademark patented form of citicoline with a lot of great clinical studies. It has won some awards, and we've added it to our Focus and Brain. So Focus is very, very popular, but Focus and Brain now is becoming more popular in the 60-plus crowd, and it's huge in the gamer population. Gamers have a lot of accommodative stress, and it's called Gamer Extreme. So it's Fortifeye Focus with a different label called Gamer Extreme. So you can buy Fortifeye Focus if you're a gamer, or Gamer Extreme. Now, Dr. Summerton, we talk a lot about gaming because it creates an enormous amount of accommodative stress on the visual system, right?
It is, along with releasing that blue light from the screen. But our eye muscles are constantly battling the glare on the screen, focusing on it, trying to focus up near. And that astaxanthin that's in the focus, all of the focuses, it helps that ciliary body muscle kind of with that fatigue of focusing. So we want to do all we can for this generation that's on that screen playing those video games for hours and hours, that it's just a toll on the eyes. So we obviously know people, they're not going to give it up. So we want to give them what they can to help protect their eyes as best they can. I want to bring up that citicoline. I don't think you really emphasize, I want to tell how good that ingredient is. And that's another one that's been tested to cross the blood-brain barrier. We want to make sure we're getting the absorption where we need it. And that actually gets with those brain cell membranes, and it supports that communication between the brain cells. And we know it improves attention, memory, information processing, mood. And that's really important. We get middle-aged, older-aged adults that we want to do, again, all we can proactively, preventively, to keep our brains functioning optimally.
Yep. So Focus and Brain, it's been a big hit, or Gamer Extreme, both the same, identical, just two different labels. So for your children, give them Focus and Brain at an early age, especially if they're on a computer a lot. All right, we're getting loaded up. We're going to go to Dennis first and then Charles second. Dennis, thanks for holding. Good morning.
Good morning.
What can I do for you?
I want to tell you about retinal detachment.
Right?
Yeah. My retina detached out of my right eye. I can't see no more.
Yep. So with a retinal detachment, oftentimes, not all the times, oftentimes there's not a lot that can be done with that retinal detachment at this point in the game, Dennis. But as technology gets better and better, there's no telling what can be done in the future. Obviously, seeing a retinal specialist is a good idea and follow their protocol. But like I've said before, you have to take a preventative approach now. So hopefully you don't get a retinal detachment in the other eye. I recommend wearing glasses that have polycarbonate lenses. Those are impact-resistant lenses. Even if you don't have a prescription, protective eyewear is a good idea, because you could be out waiting for a bus and a rock could jump up and hit you in the eye, and that's your good eye. So you don't want to lose that. And also, staying in good shape, a strong immune system. ideal body weight, eating the right foods, sleeping, hydrating, taking the right supplements, something similar to the Fortifeye vitamins, this will help protect your good eye. It's not going to enhance the vision in your bad eye. We're going to have to wait for technology to come about, whether stem cells or microchips or new interventional surgical procedures. But Dennis, you sound young enough. I don't know how old you are, but you don't sound too old. So I think in your lifetime, we'll probably have something that can help bring you out of the darkness in that eye.
Yeah, I hope I come out of darkness. I want to come out of darkness, Mr. Lang.
So you got to keep thinking positive and stay abreast of the changes on this show, and we'll keep in. We got a really bad connection, Dennis. So I'm going to have to let you go, and maybe you can call back in another time. Yeah. So Dennis, apologize for that because I could barely hear you. We're kind of squeaky and sounded like a little mouse over there. All right, we're getting ready to take the next call. If you got a question, give us a call at 813-282-8283. That is 813-282-8283. All right, we're going to Charles. He's been waiting patiently. Charles, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Good morning. Love your program.
Thank you.
A lot of good information coming my way. Question. Each morning I get up because my eyes are kind of like dazed over with sleep. I take a real soft washcloth with tap water, warm tap water, and kind of wash my eyes out so I can see. So I was just wondering, is there any negative effect to constantly using tap water to wash your eyes out?
That's a great question, Dennis. Usually tap water is fine. Where do you live?
In Tampa, not too far from the Hard Rock Casino.
Right. So for the next week or so, I would not use the tap water. If you notice, especially in Safety Harbor, it smells really high of chlorine, but they're telling people to boil the water. So anytime right after a hurricane, you can get some contaminants that can be in the water system. And I'm not an expert in this, but I heard on the news recently, they want you to boil your water before using it. And remember, there could be all sorts of stuff in that water. I don't want acanthamoeba or anything like that in the water. And then you pouring it into your eye. So right now, don't use the tap water. It's going to either have too much chlorine or it can be contaminated. So don't rinse your eye with tap water right now. When you're in the shower, I think it's safe to shower. Just don't be opening your mouth and your eyes, all right? Keep your eyes closed, your mouth closed. Do not drink the tap water right now. That's my personal opinion. Now, one of the major water authorities might say I'm wrong. So just drink spring water. If you're going to rinse your eyes, get some spring water, a distilled water, and rinse your eyes with that just for the next 5-6 days, okay? And then what you can do right before you go to bed to reduce this from being a problem, a lot of times we'll have some buildup on our eyelashes called blepharitis. And this is an accumulation of all sorts of germs, basically. It can be bacteria, it can be virus, it can be mites, it can be a whole host of things, fungus and yeast and mold. And so what we do is clean the eyelashes right before bed. And if you do that, take a hot compress first, a hot washcloth, put the hot washcloth on for about 5 minutes before bed. Then all these little creepy crawlers that are hanging out in your glands want to come out. They kind of melt out of your eye. Then you kill them with a special cleaner. So they make Optase tea tree oil lid wipes. OcuSoft makes some lid wipes. On our Fortifeye website, if you go into eye care, you'll see a bunch of different lid wipes. Those all work well. I mean, you can use regular soap and baby shampoo. That's better than nothing. And you can buy some of these commercially prepared lid scrub kits, at the local drugstore as well. So we heat them and clean them right before bed. And I bet you don't have that problem when first thing in the morning when you wake up.
Okay, great. Thanks for the good information.
All right.
All right, I'll take your advice on that for sure.
Good. All right. And thanks for the call.
You're welcome. Bye now.
Now, Dr. Summerton, what do you think about all that?
I think so too. We love you cleaning your eyelids, especially right before you go to sleep. Those wipes you mentioned are great. Ladies out there, make sure you're taking off that makeup before you go to sleep. If you're a little bit too tired right before you go to bed, take it off around dinner time, because we do those little glands you've got on the inner margin of your eyelid. Those are called meibomian glands. Those are crucial for getting oil into your tear film. So if those become clogged, which we see it consistently across the board all day long, we have to work on unclogging them. So we want to be preventive, make sure we clean those lids before we go to sleep to keep those oil glands functioning. And a little plug to Bausch and Lomb here, because we have favorite for an eye wash instead of like that tap water rinse in the morning. That Bausch and Lomb eye wash, just squirt it in and rinse her out. People with sensitive eyes tend to like that. We have a lot of patients when they first wake up in the morning, they really enjoy the Optace eye drops or Oasis eye drops, and it just refreshes your eyes, gets that tear film a little bit more stable faster so that you can see, because blurry vision in the morning is a common complaint too. So we want to smooth out that tear film with a little extra drop, and that will help you get to that newspaper and be able to read that a little faster.
Thank you. And remember, folks, November 16th, the Lange Eye Institute Fall Festival from 11 to 3. Come on out. We'll feed you. We'll have music. We'll have lots of discounts on everything. Usually have a great crowd. Also, we're expanding the Lange Eye Institute downstairs to almost another 6,000 square feet with 10 more examination rooms. And one reason we're doing this is to expand our macular degeneration treatment protocol. And we're excited about a new procedure called the Valeda light therapy that's using a series of 3 different lights to actually treat dry macular degeneration. It's not available yet. It's not FDA approved. They've been using it in Europe with some great success. We want to be one of the first to implement this here in the United States at the Lange Eye Institute. And we're going to have a whole wing of the Lange Eye Institute dedicated to helping these natural ways or less invasive ways of helping macular degeneration, especially the dry form of macular degeneration. We're also hiring people. You do not have to have experience, but if you have experience in ophthalmology, optometry, opticianry, medical experience, bring your resume to the Lange Eye Institute, or you can email it to me or my wife. So we're looking for people to join the Lange Eye Institute team. It's a great team. I mean, it's family owned. I mean, who better than have me as a boss, right? I mean, come on. So anyway, we're expanding that. We should be open before January 1st, but January 1st is going to be our deadline. I'll actually be seeing patients on the new side. So when you walk in the Lange Eye Institute, you turn left to come to the Lange Eye Institute now. We're still going to have all that, but my little suite in the new macular degeneration Valeda light therapy is probably going to be on the right side when you walk in. We're building it out. We're going to start building it out as we speak. All right, we're getting ready to take the next call. If you got a question, give us a call at 813-282-8283. Once again, this is a new call-in number. Write it down. I'm going to give you the phone number one more time, 813-282-8283. And we're going to dive into the meat of the matter in just one more minute, and we're going to take the call from Steve in just about 30 seconds. So I also want to mention 2 other things about macular degeneration, not only the Valeda light therapy, which we're real excited about, but the Adapt DX Pro. This is a dark adaptometer, and we are waiting for that. No, we already have that. I was just reading something on the computer. I was trying to do 3 things at once and chew gum at the same time. So this is a way of detecting dry macular degeneration 3 years before we can see it. This is a kind of an AI unit you wear, head-borne unit you wear, and you press a button every time you see a little light. Very accurate. We're one of the only ones in the Village area in Ocala that even has it. It's made by Maculogics. It's called Adapt DX Pro. You can have that done at the Lange Eye Institute. Also, we are now one of a select group of doctors in the state of Florida that are utilizing this new technology to diagnose and to detect early changes in the macular degeneration at home. Okay. So this is called the Foresee Home monitoring system, and it improves functional vision outcome. You have to be a patient at the Lange Eye Institute if you have intermittent dry macular degeneration. If you qualify, it's covered by your Medicare and your supplemental insurance. If you have to pay out of pocket, is that not that expensive? So it's called Foresee Home monitoring. It's like having your own retina doctor at your house every day looking at your eye. So it's free to most of you, and it helps detect any change early, and it notifies us if you're having a problem so we can initiate treatment earlier. So it's amazing the technology available for macular degeneration. And we're going back to the phones. We got a few people on hold. First, we're going to Steve in Clearwater. Steve, good morning. Thanks for holding.
Good morning, and may God bless you for saving your home.
Yes,
amen.
I
I think that's wonderful, and those graces couldn't be given to a better person. One thing I want to tell you, this is a science show, so let me diverge just a little bit. You know how it takes a long time? For instance, it's going to take 30 years before everybody's using carotenoids. It took 30 years from the invention of the electrocardiogram to its clinical use. It took 30 years for the pap smear to be accepted. Well, in light of recent events with this hurricane, we do know how to attenuate and lower hurricane intensity. We can do it with electromagnetic fields and things like this. There's a very good website which was written 20 years ago by Walter Cronkite's former science advisor. I recommend everybody look this up. It's called Hyperdimensional Hurricanes. It comes in 4 parts: part 1, part 2, part 3. Part 3, I think, is the most interesting. And Trump knows about this. He has relatives in his family that know about this. And I think if he can get in with Elon Musk and some of these more scientifically oriented people, they can develop this technology so that we can steer these things away. It's already been done. Other countries are ahead of us on this. Russia's used it to get more water to their crops in Siberia, but that's a long story, but I won't dwell on that. But it's Hyperdimensional Hurricanes, parts 1, parts 2, parts 3, and parts 4. And one other more practical question to your program: why does my cat like your fish oil and he hates all the other fish oils?
Probably because there's no ethanol in it, okay? So cats are very sensitive, I imagine, to ethanol. And remember, we're in reesterified triglyceride form. So we go through a phase called transesterification where we actually remove the ethanol that's attached to the backbone that the factories use in the distillation process of the omega-3. And this is why when you take your omega-3 fish oil or most omega-3 fish oils and squeeze the contents in a styrofoam cup, it'll rot a hole through that styrofoam cup because of the ethanol that's in it. Ours will not do that, and there's a couple of other brands that won't do that. But I imagine animals, want to eat stuff that is natural as possible, and that's kind of a synthetic form of fish oil, the type you buy over the counter. Fortifeye Super Omega Max do not have any of that ethanol, and therefore you don't have any gastric distress, and you don't belch up a nasty fish taste either.
Okay, well, I'll let the cat know that.
I like the hyperdimensional aspects of that hurricane, but I think we just need to build a giant fan and put it on an aircraft carrier, and when that hurricane comes in, we turn it on and blow it to the other side of the continent.
The technology is there. We know it's there. And it's just like just like you've seen recently, we don't prepare until it happens once. You know it's like our electric power grid. It's totally exposed. And if that went down, we'd have everything would be down for a year. So the way humans are, they don't prepare, they don't put money into things until they've had one event which scares the crap out of them to do it. And I think this is the way this is. But I'm very optimistic that if President Trump can get back in, his family has a history of knowing about this. And I think we can really. So let's pray. I'm not promoting President Trump over Vice President Harris. I'm just saying on this particular issue, he would have special knowledge on this. And it's very credible. It was written by Walter Cronkite's foreign science advisor during the Apollo program.
Well, thank you, Steve.
Okay. Well, very, very good. And you have a great day.
All right. We appreciate your call. Bye-bye. Steve always, brings in questions that make you go, I still like Dr. Summerton. I still like the big fan idea that I had.
That would have to be a very, very big fan.
Big fan. Yes. All right.
I did giggle when he talked about his cat because I had researched it on some dog food and why certain dog foods make dogs kind of gassy. And that was one thing that came up, is that they add the ethyl ester fish oil into some of these dog foods, and that's what's creating dogs being gassy. So that's got to look at your ingredients for your pet too and see what kind of fish oil is in there.
Right. And so remember, you want to make sure it's RTG form omega-3 or TG form. I give it to my Dobermans and my Golden Doodle every day, and they got really a healthy coat. And one of my Dobermans was really old. Heck, he was 17 and had a big tumor on his head. And I started him on double the dosage of the omega-3, and I can't, that tumor, the big bump, maybe it was just inflammation, went away. And he died at like 17 and a half. That was Zeus. Remember Zeus, Scoobs?
I do.
Now
That was an old dog.
and now we got Apollo, who's 14.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of those Dobermans, if you take care of them, they last a long time. All right, we're getting ready to go to the next call. Let me give you the phone number for Fortifeye Vitamins first. Fortifeye Vitamins toll-free number. Charlene's answering the phones this morning is 866-503-9746. That's 866-503-9746. If she doesn't answer, call back. Don't leave a message because she's very busy. She's the only one manning the phones this morning. But remember, the Focus Sport is 50% off while it lasts. We have about, I think, 40 left. And it's buy one, get one free, or 50% off because they expire next month. They do not expire. They're fine. This is identical to Fortifeye Focus. So it's a way of getting a marked savings on these. All right, let's go to the phones. I think Dennis is waiting in Gainesville. Dennis, good morning.
Hi, I love when we got disconnected when you were talking.
Right? Okay, welcome back. Yeah, because we had kind of a poor connection. What's up?
Yeah, we were talking about the right eye,
Right?
and macular degeneration.
Right?
Yeah,
So
that's going to be very expensive for macular degeneration. That's going to be very expensive, buddy. I like to know about it, though.
right. So this new treatment that we're talking about, the Levita light therapy, is going to be covered by insurance. They already have a code. Medicare has a code, and therefore commercial insurances should take the same code. We don't know what it's going to be reimbursed yet. So that we're hopefully that the government, in their infinite wisdom, is going to pay enough to warrant doctors investing in this technology so they can afford to buy this technology. So we hope they don't just pay like $10. They pay something halfway decent so that it will be available for everybody. And you would think, especially if they're listening, we do know that certain government entities listen to this show. So if they're listening, think about it. I mean, some of these injections that are used for wet macular degeneration are reimbursed at over $3,000 and close to $4,000. That's a lot. So if we have a procedure, non-invasive procedure using frequency of lights that can reduce the chance of dry macular degeneration turning into wet macular degeneration, then and the current treatment is very expensive, think twice about when you're figuring out what the fee is going to be to reimburse for the Levita light therapy. So it should be covered by insurance. All right, Dennis?
Yeah, but I don't get Medicare, Dr. Lange. I'm not getting that. I don't got that.
Right. You're not old enough. So you might have regular health insurance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So your regular health insurance should cover it if you truly do have the dry form of macular degeneration. So one day we'll have to see you at the Lange Eye Institute, which is just a hop, skip, and a jump from Gainesville. I know it's difficult for people oftentimes to come to the Institute. But if you can get a ride down, or you can drive, then I'm more than happy to see me or Dr. Summerton anytime.
Yeah. If I can get a ride from somebody who can take me, it's going to be very, very difficult. I'll have to come down there. It's pretty far. It's a long trip going down there, but I'll see if who can take me.
Well, it's closer than going to Montana, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
All right, Dennis, like I said, keep the faith and keep listening to the show, okay?
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Lane. Nice talking to you.
All right. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.
Okay.
And Dr. Summerton, with AI technology and all we know in the world today, with all the advancements, I don't want to give people false hope, but I think literally, I don't know when, is it a year? Is it 5 years? Is it 20 years? I think we'll be able to take people out of the darkness and give them better vision.
Absolutely. We're seeing this technology take off. The fact that We've got something right on the cusp of being able to do this light therapy for dry macular degeneration. We have so many patients out there right now with dry macular degeneration that something just as simple as some light therapy that we can make a positive change is very exciting. And, we know light, we know UV, we know that it can cause harmful effects, we know it can have beneficial effects. So the eye is just a light receiver. And so we know if we can receive that light in a positive way, the right spectrum of light, then we can have a positive effect on the center of the eye, the macula.
Right. And this company is called Lumathera, Lumathera that's offering this, and it's called photobiomodulation. Photobiomodulation for dry macular degeneration is called the Valeda Light Delivery System. So the Lange Eye Institute, we're hoping to be one of the first in the country to have this, if indeed and when it does become FDA approved. Like I said, I'm banking on it, so we're expanding the Lange Eye Institute into 10 more examination rooms to handle the flow. All right, phone lines are open. If you got a question, we have plenty of time. Give us a call at 813-282-8283. That's 813-282-8283. We talked a little bit about Fortifeye Focus and Fortifeye Focus and Brain. And we talked about some lid scrubs and artificial tears, Oasis tears or Optase. For your convenience, it is offered on our website. You can just about get anything we talk about on the website at fortifeye.com. That's FORTIFEYE, fortifeye.com. And then you can sign up at the bottom of the page to get on our newsletter, to get on our mailing list. And we oftentimes will send you really great deals with no moment's notice. And we send a lot of good information. So get on our mailing list there. Also, you can follow me on Instagram. That's Dr. Michael Lange _ on Instagram. Make sure it's the Dr. Michael Lange that has a blue check. That's verified. I've got about 60, 70,000 followers right now. I was hacked in a few years ago. We used to have 250,000 followers. So we're building it back up, and we finally got it verified. So be very careful. There's a lot of fake social media Dr. Michael Lange's out there. So Dr. Michael Lange _ is the real one on Instagram. And then our YouTube channel is Dr. Michael Lange Ocular Health Channel. So Dr. Michael Lange Ocular Health Channel. And you can go back and look 5, 10 years ago, even longer than that, 15 years ago, and see some videos that we've made on eye care, anti-aging, and nutrition. So check it out on YouTube, Dr. Michael Lange Ocular Health Channel. All right, one more time. Phone lines are open, 1-813-282-8283. Give us a call at 813-282-8283. And, starting off, we were talking about what to do to look better, feel better, and be healthier. So we're going to dive into that right now because we have plenty of time. Obviously, sleep is very important. None of us get enough sleep. Heck, I haven't been to bed in 48 hours now due to the hurricane. That's why I'm looking tired. But I'm going to sleep tonight, I promise you. Sleep is extremely, extremely important. Weight management. We talk about this all the time. Got to get down to your ideal body weight. We're not going to go into that. But weight management is crucial. Proper diet, the paleo diet, the Mediterranean diet, the plant paradox, the Lange survival diet. I didn't say the carnivore diet or the ketogenic diet. Now, a modified form of the ketogenic diet I like, and that's what the Lange survival diet is. Make sure you hydrate. Plenty of fluids, half your body weight in ounces of water. Exercise is crucial. Cardiovascular exercise and weight-bearing exercise, and then the proper supplements. And this is what we're going to talk about. Dr. Summerton and I are going to both chime in a little bit on the proper supplements to help you look better, feel better, and be healthier. So there's a product we worked on and we developed called Fortifeye Fit Pro. We developed Fortifeye Fit first, and Fortifeye Fit has been out for, almost 10 years. Well, we modified it, and it's called Fortifeye Fit Pro now. And Fortifeye Fit Pro is a combination of grass-fed whey protein, a grass-fed collagen protein, HMB, L-citrulline, betaine anhydrose, German Creapure creatine, vitamin D, and peak ATP for energy. Folks, this is the first time all these ingredients have been put in one, and it's for the athlete that is very young and very old. I mean, my 96-year-old mom takes it. I've got many world champion athletes on it, lots of college athletes, pro athletes taking it. So it's called Fortifeye Fit Pro. I developed it to help people with sarcopenia. This is muscle wasting. People don't realize, but you lose 6 to 8% of muscle every decade after 30. So 6 to 8% of muscle every decade after 30. And after 60, it increases and goes much faster. So this is pretty impressive. I want to tell you just about one ingredient that's in it. It's called MyHMB, and it's the purest form of a metabolite of leucine that builds muscle. MyHMB, the studies are pretty conclusive. Now listen up. 57% less muscle protein breakdown versus a placebo in a 3-month period. Now listen to this, 250% greater increase in lean muscle mass versus training alone. So 250% greater increase in lean muscle mass versus training alone without MyHMB. Now, for those of you that want to lose weight, so 210% greater increase in fat loss versus training alone. 210% greater increase in fat loss versus training alone. 200% greater increase in quadricep thickness. That's the leg muscles. 54% increase in anaerobic power and 58% increase in vertical jump. So think about it, volleyball and basketball, even football, this would be great. Now, when you combine MyHMB with creatine and vitamin D, beta anhydrous and whey protein, it's kind of like the quadruple whammy, helping to prevent muscle loss and helping to build muscle, lose fat, strength, and endurance. Folks, that's called Fortifeye Fit Pro. I take it every day before I work out and after workout. And I know Dr. Summerton does as well. I want her to just chime in a little bit about her experience taking Fortifeye Fit Pro.
I do. And I want to remind everybody out there, I know especially women, they get a little hesitant about these supplements because they think it's going to make them big and bulky. But I assure you, by taking it, it's not going to instantly make you big and bulky. That's going to take hours and hours and hours of effort in the gym. What we're talking about is regular muscle that you need to perform your daily activities into being 100. We want to make sure that you can get out of bed by yourself. We want to make sure you can carry those grocery bags. We want to make sure you can get up and out of that reclining chair. And this is what helps you maintain that. I know I take the Fit Pro before I work out, and I take the whey protein after I work out. But especially, I know there's a lot of stigma around creatine, and women get a little afraid of that. But we actually need it more than men. We only have about 78% lower creatine stores than men. And we do produce some creatine in our bodies, but we don't produce enough. So the bulk of it needs to come from our diet, and it's animal protein like beef, which women in general, we tend to eat a little bit less of that than men. So again, it's something we need to kind of focus upon. And it's not just muscle. It actually affects our brain health too. Even premenopausal women, it helps control those mood swings. And so it has effect on kind of how our brain functions during those different hormone phases. So we get a lot of benefits from it, and it's maintenance and just carrying your health into all ages. And if we can't eat enough of it, we have to supplement it. Just being aware, we can't out supplement a bad diet. We need to still have a good diet and enhance it with the supplementation.
Absolutely. So that's Fortifeye Fit Pro. Remember, your grandkids can take it, your kids can take it, your grandparents can take it. It comes in 4 delicious flavors. You can get it at fortifeye.com, and it's been available for many years now. It does work. So Fortifeye Fit Pro. Also, Fortifeye Rejuvenate, not to leave that on the side. Remember, Fortifeye Rejuvenate is also a powder, 4 delicious flavors. It was developed for skin, hair, nails, and joints. So you take Fortifeye Fit Pro from muscles, ligaments, tendons, all right, strength and muscle, and then you take Fortifeye Rejuvenate, and you can add the two together for skin, hair, nails, and joints. And we don't have time to talk about the Fortifeye Rejuvenate. We'll talk about more about that next week. But you can learn a lot about Fit Pro and Rejuvenate at fortifeye.com. Fortifeye, fortifeye.com. Dr. Summerton, thanks for co-hosting the show with me. You got about 15 seconds to tell everybody goodbye.
Thank you for all the listeners out there. Prayers for all those recovering from the hurricane devastation we've experienced. And we're there supporting you every step of the way.
Absolutely. And once again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening to Ask the Doctors. I'm Dr. Michael Lange of the Lange Eye Institute and Fortifeye Vitamins. I'm out of here. Have a great day. God bless you, and God bless America.